So I would like to ask you, for those who are not familiar with you, what is your background within the TAG Heuer?
Yeah, I'm actually at the beginning I was a watchmaker. So I was in Pforzheim in the watchmaking school 3 years, full time. And the same time my father had a own workshop, a own repair company. And he had a service contract with TAG Heuer, really at the beginning. And after my apprenticeship time, I was working for my dad in the former, let's say, TAG Heuer service. I was starting there in 1990. In 1997, I overtook the company from him. And I had my own company as a service partner of TAG Heuer till end of 2011. Starting in 2012, my complete team and me were starting as employees of TAG Heuer. We were starting with 14 people altogether: watchmaker, admin people, polisher, and now we are 54, sorry. 54, so it really increased a lot, changed, and
There is a constant raise, or it was an explosion in the last years?
It was a constant rage, but also it was a kind of explosion by taking over the responsibility for additional countries. We were starting with Germany and Austria at the beginning. This was also what I did in my own company before 2012. Then we got the Netherlands 6 months later. We started to do repairs for France at the beginning as a kind of a partner. Then we got completely France, Belgium, Luxembourg. So there were additional countries coming on top, which brings you also additional repair volume, of course. But also without these additional countries, the volume of repairs is really increasing year by year.
So you started with 3,000 approximately per
This was
year.
really at the beginning. When we started in 2012 with TAG Heuer, we were starting with about, let's say, 6,500, 7,000 repairs. And it really increased year by year to 26,000 at the end now.
What is the significance of the customer service center for TAG Heuer? What it represents, this center for TAG Heuer?
I think we are, for them, the European pillar, together with it's a smaller service center in Madrid, because for them we are really let's say we are the door from Switzerland to the European Union. We service all these countries, we do the complete spare part business for them. We help them for, if it's vintage watches, horlogerie, even repairs which going back to headquarters are all coming to us. So
I saw that also tourbillon in service.
Exactly, the tourbillons we can do here. We were the first service center outside Switzerland which got certified for tourbillon. And we can do the tourbillon repairs here.
From the point of view of TAG Heuer collector, what they can expect from this service center?
They can expect a good organization, motivated staff, people which care. We try to give a good quality, a good lead time, really take care of the needs of the customer. And it doesn't matter if it's done here in-house, or even if we have like a vintage watch sent back to Switzerland, we really take care of all the things around for the customer to make it easy for him and make him satisfied.
I was really impressed by the informatics system and the database that you have here. and the fact that the customer is able every time, besides contacting you, is able every time to know what's happening to his watch.
To his watch, yeah.
And that is something also personally for me as a collector, it's very important to know what's happening with my baby.
This was a big problem in the past. I mean, you send your watch, it's like you said before, it's an emotional decision. You like this watch, it's a lot of money. You send it to the customer service and it's gone. No information. You don't know, does it arrive? You don't know how long it takes. So of course they call and ask, okay, my watch, is it there? And as more information we can give you, it's good. You know it arrived, you know in which status, you get a date when it will come back to you. You have all the information to get a tracking number. We work in the moment in the countries we work with DHL Express as a shipment company, and it's you can even tell them, okay, listen, tomorrow is not good, I'm not here, please deliver on Friday, or deliver to my company address, or deliver to a store of them. So it's really customer friendly.
And from what I understood, you are taking care from the watch from the moment the customer is asking you for, let's say, a box to send it.
They can, yes.
Because if he doesn't have, let's say, a recipient, a box to send it, you can send the customer a box, and from the moment the watch is picked up, you are taking care of the watch and everything what's happening with the watch until the watch is in the hands of the collector.
Exactly.
That's it. Quite remarkable.
Because I think for a lot of customers have the problem how to send a watch. How can I do it? How can I do it with insurance? And
packaging and everything.
The perfect solution. We send you the package, we send you the label, you bring it to the DHL station, and you are completely out of insurance questions, anything. It's our responsibility till you receive it back.
That's great. Which are some of the most remarkable pieces that you receive here?
I thought a lot about this, but there's a lot of different pieces, like a lot of different vintage watches.
How far in the past you can go with the
repairs?
Repair here
I would say round about 1990 produced.
So in the 90s. And if it's something...
It depends a little bit on the model. There are some models the headquarter asks for, okay, please send it back, we don't deliver any spare parts anymore. Around 1990, yeah.
You had some wall pieces that were crossing the center in the way to Switzerland. Some really rare vintage pieces everybody wants to see. And
everybody wants to see. We had some of them where the headquarter was contacting the customer and asking if they can buy it for the museum there. Yes. And it's, for example, this is a big thing, the vintage watches transport to Switzerland. And we had a lot of years back, this was a nightmare. We had a extremely high insured package, which was stolen on the airport in Zurich.
Okay.
It was not a problem of money, but it was a huge problem of emotional value. You know, like I got this watch from my father, and so what we do now, we make every 2 weeks, we have a direct drive to headquarters to really have no risk for our customers anymore that something gets stolen or happens. So we really have a courier coming here, taking the package, drive directly to La Chaux-de-Fonds and give it there.
It's also for you much easier to handle the logistic than wait for some external company to whatever, you don't know, someone is...
And you know it's safe. It's
Exactly. In terms of the watches you receive for service, what percentage would you estimate is comprised of well-loved yet worn-out pieces compared with pristine ones? So people that are really wearing the watches and they need a lot of let's say repair, versus the percent of people who keep the watches mostly in the safe and just send it to the service, the regular service.
I don't know the exact percentage, but I would say about 2/3 are really worn. They are used, and 1/3 is, I don't know, the customer tells, okay, it's 6 years old, and I think like, really? It does not look like, you know. I would say, yeah, 1/3, 2/3, but the biggest part is really used, which is okay. I think for me, most of the watches are made to use them.
Exactly. Beloved.
Yeah, and we have a lot of customers. Right now, we offer refurbishment as an option, so the customer can decide, yes, I want or I want not. But besides, it's a question of the price. Also, before we had a couple of customers who said, hey, I don't want to have any refurbishment. I love the scratches.
So no polishing,
there is a history behind this. I don't want to have any polishing.
So just servicing the mechanism to work.
Make it work, and make it clean, but I want to keep my scratches.
Exactly. Yeah. I can understand that. I also, from the watches I bought new, and I remember each scratch that I've done, and it was like, you know, you have a thorn in when you see the scratch, but on the other side, you know exactly when you did the scratch.
You know where it's coming from. Yes,
where it's coming from.
It changed. I mean, in the past we made a lot of vintage here, not here, but in Pforzheim. And at the beginning, all the vintage watches, the old Monacos, everything, the customer were asking for a real good refurbishment. This time we had an external partner who was really a specialist. He made these old Monacos like new. If you do this now, you lose, I don't know, 1/3 of the value of the watch. No one wants to have any refurbishment on vintage watches anymore.
No, they want to
keep it like it is.
The original, just like the cars.
Exactly.
Vintage cars, you want the original and not some spoiled with new.
Yeah, it changed.
It changed. Talking about the new, do you also service Tag Heuer connected?
We do, yes. We have let's say a classical analysis of the watch, but then it's really passed to the administration team, and there we have specialists who is checking all the aspects of the watch. We have the different mobile phone system, Android and Apple, so they make all the tests. If the connection's working, they can make updates, refresh, all these things.
And the battery,
it's
change
done
of the battery
here, but it's not a classic watchmaking workshop job.
Clearly. But the battery can be easily replaced.
For the new one, yes.
The first generations?
No.
Still the case? Complicated?
For the first, you cannot change the battery.
Okay, so you need to think of...
You need to think about inviting the customer to get a new version
of the connected
for a really, really good price. For this one, if it's really broken, you cannot repair it anymore. We call it a trade-in program, so the customer can get a really new one for a really, really good price.
Nice. It's still something that you can do in comparison with other connected devices. That 2 years are okay, 3 years maybe, but more than sure after 4 years it's just e-waste because nobody can do something about it.
It's the same problem like with your mobile phone. After a while, there will be a time they don't provide any updates anymore. If something is broken, they don't have parts.
So from this point of view, you have maybe the best solution in the e-connected devices in the industry. Coming back to to the vintage and the Tag Heuer heritage. It's very interesting to see the Tag Heuer going back to the origins, but taking just let's say the idea and bringing to the novelties. As a watchmaker, how do you feel about the new watches that touch a little bit of the vintage, especially since you're very well versed in the vintage?
With the real vintage, yeah, I like them. For me, it's but this is a question of personal taste. For me, it's
clearly
the new Monacos. I like them, and for me also, it's a watch I like the design, but I have really, let's say, a modern technique behind it. I have a new modern movement. I have 80 hours power reserve. I have not to be careful regarding, okay, it's getting wet, like you have a regal vintage watch. And the new movement is really a good one. It's working well. There's no big problems at all. It's great.
So for someone who is getting into watch collecting, it would be a strong advice to go with the newest devices, because they have, let's say, they don't need care as much for the watches. They can just wear it and go with it. And if the time and so on allows, to go also in the vintage if they have a click with the brand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.